a background of why I'm doing this. Okay. First, as you guys know, on this channel, I do interview survivors, mainly of cults, but that has turned into survivors of content creators as well, because people have just given me their stories. Typically, these type of people, they get on social media, they become very big. At one point, they may have been nice, they may have been relatable, they may have, answered every comment or at least tried to, and things like that. But over time, people can get big-headed, people can really grow distance from their audience. And so I think that's what happened in this situation as well. So this Unbothered Whole Academy was, in my knowledge, it was created by Nosy Whole Live. And it basically consists of classes, adult class that members have to pay for. You got to sign a non-disclosure agreement and you got to abide by all the rules. Okay. So just to answer some of y'all questions right off the bat, as far as, oh, does she need a license to do this, to do that? I haven't looked fully into that yet, so I'm not going to answer that right now, but make sure you do your own research. But I am assuming for certain type of things, you will need a certificate or a license of some sort. If you're having some type of classes, if you're selling something, I think you need something. You need something to do this type of work. I just don't know what it is, but I'll look further into that as well. And if you guys know, make sure you leave it in the comments. But so I'm giving these alleged victims, these survivors, a voice. A lot of them, at least 99.9% of them, are scared to speak up because they're afraid that they'll be known. So I'll do my best to basically summarize everything and keep things a little general so that you're not pinpointed. So I appreciate everyone who sent me their story. You will remain anonymous as well. Okay, so on this platform, we do give a voice to the voiceless, and you guys seen that back to back on this channel. You've seen it in the past, you've seen it on my other channel. So yeah, we give a voice to the voiceless on this channel. So thank you guys for reaching out to me, despite all the hate that's going on. Thank you for sending me your stories, thinking for yourself, and trusting me with delivering it the right way. So you did choose the right person. So shout out to everybody who sent me a story. If you have a story you want to tell me about this content creator, Nosy Whole Live, or this new content creator named Danny Robertson, who's doxing people as well, make sure you hit me up at talesfromthecult777@gmail.com, or hit the contact form on tftcofficial.com, which is the official website of Tales from the Cult. So thank you so much for being here. Okay. So let's begin. Just to sum up a few things that I've already mentioned or I touched on my other channel, which is Karizma Speaks TV. Make sure you follow that channel, subscribe, turn on all notifications if you haven't. But I did say that some alleged victims of Nosy's adult classes contacted me and claimed that Nosy uses other adult workers' content from a specific adult website. So that's what's included in this package that they have to pay for. The price started off affordable, and over time it increased. Now I can understand if the product increased over time, if the quality increased over time, but from what these people have told me, it didn't. In fact, they said that Nosy was very lazy when she taught the classes, very, kind of how you guys see her now, where she have other people do her research for her, bring her back the stories, that type of thing as a blogger. Well, it's the same worth ethic when it comes to the adult classes from what these people have said. Many said that Nosy would never show up sometimes, so she'll have the classes taught on a certain day. I think it was twice a week or something like that. It could have changed now, but from the average amount of days that people have written me from what they said, I just kind of averaged it. It was about 2 times a week on OnlyFans. And so that was included with this academy, this so-called academy. Now, as far as accreditation goes, if you're an academy, I would assume that you need some type of accreditation from, the higher learning system, or in this case, it may be something from that type of field, the adult field or something, whatever certification that they use. Like I said, I'm still doing research on that. But if you're putting this off as a school, as an academy, courses got to have credits. It has to be accredited. Is this going to benefit these people in any way? I'm not sure if there's men involved as well, but for the most part, it seems like it's about 99.9% women and 99.9% Black women at that. Different ages, different walks of life. Some professionals, some in the medical field, some in the business field, different walks of life is basically the demographic of the women and the men, if there are some men. None have reached out to me yet who have taken her classes. Okay. Not only does these people allege that she steals other adult workers' content, but she also goes far as to allegedly steal other people's YouTube videos. I guess there's some adult workers on YouTube. You can't show that type of work, but I guess they come on here to promote their site or promote, whatever, their OnlyFans. I don't know. I'm just assuming that. But specific women, their content was played in these videos. Specific bloggers, their content was actually played for nosy so-called students in the actual class that they paid for. So a lot of them felt like, okay, if you were just going to show me a YouTube video, I could have just hopped on YouTube. I could have looked that stuff up myself. What was the point of this? You kind of threw everything together, put the mashed potatoes with the hot dogs and the sweet pea. Like it's kind of like it don't mix. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we'll throw some stuff here, throw some stuff there. It wasn't like it was constructed in an organized way. So that's what a lot of them are saying. It wasn't organized. It was just like, well, hell, I told y'all I get on here twice a day. Let me pop the camera on, and say something really quick and let me go ahead and get off. So it was kind of like that. A lot of them felt like they didn't get any type of meat from it. It wasn't in depth. It wasn't detailed. It was just kind of general. So it's like, I'm paying all this money for this. Let me go ahead and block you on Twitch. Good thing I got both phones out. So, perfect. Give me a second, you guys. It's a lot of distractors here. So let me go ahead and block you. Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, perfect. All right. So shout out to everybody who's been respectful, who's acting like adults. It's a lot of childish people here. But thank you guys for being respectful, like I said. So she'll be on there for about 10 to 20 minutes saying little to nothing. And they felt like that's where it felt like it was a scam, because they were paying all this money and they didn't get nothing. It wasn't, the price didn't match the actual, product. So they felt like they were scammed, a lot of them. Some of them took responsibility and said, well, I signed up for this, but I just didn't expect her to dox me, or I didn't expect her to go off on people on YouTube, and tell our business, because that was actually in the non-disclosure. It went both ways, allegedly. She wasn't supposed to tell who they were. They weren't supposed to tell the business of the school. And it was supposed to be a reciprocal type of agreement. But it wasn't that way. She went off, allegedly, on people from the group who left, people who had something to say about it, people who didn't like the classes, who, called her out on some of the classes. Some women may have benefited from it. Some women may have made money. Most of the women said, it wasn't what I thought it was. They thought it was false advertisement. They thought it was like she was advertising on social media. Hey, this is going to be so fun, so easy. Make your money, work at home position. You can't lose on this. Leave your 8-hour job, your 9 to 5. Make your money, be your own boss. Those type of things, kind of like a pyramid scheme. Be your own boss, and then you sign up and you find out, okay, I got to sell this. I got to sell all this. I got to do all this. Why you didn't say that before I actually paid my money for it? Why you didn't, I'm thinking I'm getting all this exclusive type of tips. You've been online for a minute. I'm thinking you really know what you're talking about. I'm thinking I could make some extra money on the side. Come to find out, I just lost $350 to $400. And it's not what I thought it was. So a lot of women felt that they were scammed, that they were tricked, that they were fooled, that it was false advertisement, that they took the bait. And then it was too late. Before they found out, it was already too late. She already had their information. So they became scared to speak up and to speak out. Allegedly, she did dox quite a few people on her Sunshine in the City YouTube page. That was her page before she turned into Nosy Ho. She went by Sunshine. So most of these women know her as Sunshine. They know her previous pages. This nosy character is basically a new character for this sector, is pretty much what I'm getting from these stories. So in the beginning, most of them said that she had a great personality. She was funny. She wasn't like she was now, I guess. And this is referring to Nosy. They said that she, in that particular page, Sunshine in the City, she would travel. She would show women like, oh, look at how much money I made. I could buy this. I got all these, I got to deal with Pretty Little Thing. Look what I'm doing. I'm doing all these hauls. They sending me stuff. From what I've heard, her channel wasn't as big as it was when she had hit around 30K on YouTube, but it was, she had a following. And so that's how she would advertise the classes. She would show them the result of the classes by doing the videos. Okay, look, I'm flying here, I'm flying there, going on these so-called tours, picking up and recruiting other women in different cities, allegedly. Now, I don't know what they did in person. That's another question. I don't know what was done in person once these women met up. I don't know what was done. Some women allege that some illegal activity did take place, and that some women did some illegal things. I'm not going to discuss that here, but that's what a lot of people have said as well. Okay, so pretty much she's selling a dream. She's not custom fitting the experience to each woman, such as women who are bigger. That's another complaint I got. Women who are bigger, they're told the same thing as women who are thin, and in that industry is completely different. Typically, you have to work harder. If you're bigger, that's just the way society is, unfortunately. And bigger women have different type of obstacles that they have to overcome. And also, I heard that Black women as well in that industry have to work harder as well. And many of the people who wrote me, they said that Nosy don't emphasize that. You know, when she promote the classes, she don't emphasize that you're gonna have to work. It's more like, oh, you're gonna be on a vacay, come on, join, you know, all you gotta do is talk on the phone. That's all. It's gonna be a piece of cake. You could get you some Chanel, some Gucci, live good, live great, be your own boss, be an independent woman, F these dudes, F these niggas, and all this stuff. So that was pretty much from what I gathered from most of the people, that's pretty much what I got. It was kind of like false advertisement. So that's what made them feel scammed. The product was overpriced. Okay, and then the outcome didn't, you know, there's no type of disclosure like, okay, well, if you take this class, this won't guarantee, from what I'm getting allegedly, it won't guarantee that you'll get a job in this industry. It won't guarantee that you'll get as many followers as me. It won't guarantee that you'll make money. Those disclosures are not really said. It's just like, nah, anybody could do this. Come on, work from home. Come on, make 7 figures. Is this crazy, outrageous number? But she already has a following. What people don't realize, she's already had a following from that industry who follow her to YouTube, and then she grew more followers in that sector as well from her OnlyFans. So you got to be doing this for years. You got to build clientele. You got to learn different type of stuff. Okay, that's what I was told. Fetishes, all type of crazy stuff, and then and it's not easy at all. Okay, so that was opposite of how Nosy would allegedly, according to the stories that I got, she would pretend it was a walk in the park, a piece of cake. She'll make it like this fantasy, you know, be a mermaid hoe, be a mermaid goddess, you know, the black woman is God, this type of stuff. And so that would persuade a lot of women to join her classes because they'll see her YouTube videos and they'll say, oh, well, she's traveling here, she's eating at these fancy restaurants. Well, she must be making some money. She must be telling the truth, you know? So a lot of them felt that way. A lot of them was tricked that way. All right. So it does take hard work, which a lot of people said. And then again, with the bigger women, it's a lot of complaints there because it's like, no, you got to customize it to each woman. It was kind of like a cookie cutter, you know, one size fit all type of stuff where she would tell these women. She wouldn't really give them advice. People would say, well, I've already knew this. I already knew that. I've been in this industry. I knew that already. I knew that site, you know, I already watched that. So it's like, kind of like, what else am I paying for here? Okay. What am I doing this for? You know? So, what else? So in the classes, eventually, I don't know at what time, because like I said, I'm gonna keep this general, but she did begin, according to the stories that I received, allegedly she began to start doxing people. I guess she got into some issues or some arguments with some of the women or some of the people who joined. I'm just going to assume it's mostly women. It could be men. I don't know. But I haven't heard it was men. It was more women empowerment. Like, girl, you could do this. Rosie the Riveter type of stuff. You know, we can do it. Yeah, a get rich quick scheme. That's how it felt. That's how a lot of people felt. Thank you for letting me know that on Twitch. Says she make it seem like a get rich quick thing is how I see it. Sort of, and it's not. Yeah, exactly. Like, you could get rich overnight. You're gonna make this amount of money. You pay all your bills, take care of your kids, you know, because you have to think a lot of these women are single Black women with kids who need some extra money. You know what I mean? So to them, this was an opportunity. To them, they thought their business would stay discreet. To them, they thought that they could trust Nosy. But they found out that she started allegedly doxing people who disagree with her, who she got an issue with, who she suspected was releasing information. She started actually allegedly giving their personal information out to the public because when they sign up, they have to give her their ID, a copy of their ID. and they have to record them agreeing to the non-disclosure agreement, allegedly. So she know your voice, she know your face, and she know where you live. More than likely, she wants your phone number, who knows? But this is the personal information that was reported to me that have been just put out there. If women disagreed, or if women fell out, or if they had something bad to say or negative to say about the classes, or if she suspected that there was theft within the group, or any other type of thing that she feel she didn't cause, but other people caused the demise of, if that makes sense. I tried to sum it up. So they're scared to speak up because of this. They think that she still may have their information in some type of flash drive or database or saved somewhere. They don't think that she was responsible enough to kind of delete the electronic files, delete IDs. They think that she stored it as a way of intimidation, so that she could, if anybody speak out, it's kind of like she could go in the, her little file folder and say, oh, well, I know this person, they joined the class, da-da-da. I know how much the class was. I know exactly who that person is. I'm about to dox them. So that's why a lot of them just said, we rather give you our story. And I said, I'll sum it up. I won't give dates. I won't give times. I'm just going to give the general picture of what everybody who have wrote me is pretty much saying. So paying students, I'm just going to say students, because this is a so-called academy, right? Paying students, they would be scared to speak up when they were actually in the class, because they said that any mistake that they made, any thing that seemed offensive or that Nosy didn't understand, she would curse them out in front of the other women, put them on blast, kind of humiliate them, like, oh, you dummy, didn't you read this, in the non-disclosure agreement, why are you talking about this, and stuff like that. She would just blast them in front of the other women. And so that would kind of spook out the other women who wanted to ask the question, but they was afraid to be called stupid or idiot or a dummy. So they just, stayed because they paid for the class, but they wasn't really feeling it. They just tried to do as much to get their money's worth as they possibly could. So it's also, according to a lot of people, not all of them, but a lot of them said that there was also a membership to get information continuously. That was about $15 a month, allegedly. $10 to $15 a month, that not only did you have to pay for the class, which eventually became $350 allegedly, but you had to pay for this membership on her website where it was supposed to be like a resource where you could continuously get information, allegedly, about this type of work, about different tips and advice, how to make more money, this and that. And they said that wasn't pretty much worth nothing either. Okay. Yeah, for real. It would have been an issue, it definitely would have been an issue for me if I paid all that money and you going to YouTube, you using other people's content, allegedly, you doing lazy work, 20 minutes, at least give me a solid hour, at least give me something that's going to help me actually make money, that I could see the results over time. At least work out some type of plan so that I know what I'm expecting at the end of this. Or is it just like, well, discretion is advised. If you sign up, if you don't make no money, that's on you. That ain't on me. And allegedly, that's what's in the non-disclosure agreement. Hey, if you don't make no money, you can't speak up and you can't talk about it. Okay. But many people are questioning the non-disclosure agreement, whether it's actually enforceable at this point. Because they said, well, the classes, they weren't even classes at this point. So I didn't get what the actual non-disclosure said. I didn't get the product that you advertised to me. So at this point, this seemed to be null and void. That's what a lot of them are saying. This is null and void because you didn't give me the product that you described. You didn't give me the product that you said in the non-disclosure. So as far as I'm concerned, we're not even talking about the same product. because the description on this paper and what I got from that class, it ain't really worth it. I could have paid a bill, you know. So that's what a lot of them are saying. Somebody said, was the NDA more for the information she gave or to keep the people doing the classes from talking amongst themselves about being allegedly scammed? I think it was a bit of both. I think the non-disclosure was to conceal them from talking, for the most part, from speaking up. That's typically what non-disclosures are for, so you don't disclose anything that happened in the group, pretty much, kind of like a cult. And then I think that she wanted to protect the information, but people said, well, the information is general anyway. You taking it from this adult website, you taking it from this adult content creator. We already know these people. We've been on websites where we pay a flat fee. We don't have to pay $10, $15, $20 a month for a membership to continuously get information. We pay a flat fee on other sites. The information is always available when we log in. The videos are always there. We don't got to worry about these credited sites doxing us. We know that they have actual lawyers who put the contracts together. We know that they're doing good business. So we don't have to worry about these actual sites that have been around for a while, who's doing the exact same thing, but providing more information, who's providing a better quality, who's providing an actual opportunity to make money on the side for a lot of women and men. So these were pretty much phone operator. I'm gonna just say that. That sounds so old, but yeah, these were smooth operators, adult workers. A lot of them had backgrounds already in that industry. A lot of them were brand new, who wanted to see what it was all about from actually seeing her Sunshine in the City videos on YouTube. So the YouTube channel really persuaded a lot of people to join the classes. So that's what made them feel scammed altogether. So a lot of them have revealed that to me. All right. Child of God said, that is so sad. I feel bad for the women who trusted Nosy. Their money was wasted, and Nosy didn't even try to make it worth it at all. She didn't even have original material. Yep, allegedly she didn't. Allegedly she did not have original material. She kind of slapped everything together like a Happy Meal, and they got what they got. So that is very unfortunate. Jane said, Nosy has become a maniac and paranoid. I watched it from the bushes. Ashley, I believe, kicked her out and kept both dogs. Nosy kept people's IDs, allegedly. Yeah, that's all alleged. I don't know about none of that. But you said brings back the memories of the pretty Ricky on the, yeah. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about, that's the on the highline. Yeah, that was that hit though. That was that hit. Yeah. You used to call me on my, yeah, all that. You used to call me on my cell phone. I know when that highlight blink. Yeah, they was in there, bro. Let's see. She do have some Facebook groups, allegedly, dedicated to keeping the information, excuse me, sorry guys, dedicated to keeping the information within the group. I feel like I'm gonna cough again, to spread more awareness of when the classes were gonna be held, to promote the group for new members. It's like she had different classes, one for the new members. I think she kind of split it up over time because of trust. trust issues. Allegedly at this time, give me a second. I'm reading. At one point, she was married to a woman who identified themselves as a man named Slim at this time. So people were saying it wasn't Ashley in the beginning from what they were told. Allegedly, I don't know if she came after, but allegedly she was already married to a woman who identified herself as a man. So named Slim. The relationship was pretty much abusive from what she shared with her subscribers and shared with the members of her class. She was really big on, what's her name? Crystalline, I'm probably messing up her name, on YouTube, the Pink Pill. I think she was featured on there before, or she had a collaboration with her and somebody else, another content creator. And they were talking about this type of work. I forget what the subject was, but she was basically brought on the show to disclose pretty much men's fantasies, dark fantasies. I think they were talking about R. Kelly, back then. They're talking about the whole R. Kelly situation because we know that this has been going on for years as far as that goes, but it's just blown up now. And then they had allegedly Crystalline, I think that's her name. She had Nosy on her show along with another content creator. And Nosy was telling them basically the dark side of men, what they asked for, their fantasies, that a lot of these men are married. A lot of these men are in relationships and things like that. So, yeah. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if they fell out or what, but people were confused because then she started getting into, I don't know if she'd been taught this in the beginning or not, but the race play. Everybody is talking about the race play. Everybody wanted to know about the race play. And pretty much that's when you allow someone, I'm just keep it rated G, to degrade you. When it comes to Nosy, she has publicly admitted to that, being called derogatory words, being called racist words, all for money. So a lot of women were like, okay, wait, you're supposed to be this woman who's for Black women. You care about women so much. You so-called empower women to do things, wear their natural hair, eat natural type of things. Allegedly, she stopped taking her bipolar medication. I don't know how true that is because I don't know if she has that and that's serious. But this is just from what multiple sources have told me. She wanted to be natural, so she wanted to take natural remedies instead. And many think that did affect her as well, her personality over time, allegedly. And so with the race thing, the race play, a lot of women had an issue with that because a lot of them said that Nosy would act like it was empowering to be called the N-word. It was empowering to be someone's slave. She made it seem like opposite of what most people look at that as, to each his own. But she made it seem like this was something like empowering. If you were called that by these men, and if you acted that way, degrading yourself, pretending to be a slave, things like that, being called all these words that, that history have shown that we fought for, Black people, to get away from. It's kind of like she bring it back. And so these different fantasies and fetishes happen, and that's just the way it is. And allegedly, a lot of them make a lot of money doing that when they're Black. There's different opportunities, there's different hierarchies, and unfortunately, some people have told me, well, we have limited opportunities in that industry, and that's one of the most popular things. The most wanted and the most requested, unfortunately, it is sick. It's sick, but it's one of the most requested type of services, I'll say, in that type of industry for Black women. So that's another thing that wasn't kind of told or disclosed to a lot of women, allegedly. They didn't know that that was involved at all. But that's one of the ways people have said that she makes most of her money doing that type of work. That's why. And so she was teaching these women how to, allegedly teaching these women how to be operators. And that was a part of the job, pretty much, that they didn't allegedly know. And so I think she got her Sunshine in the City page terminated because she was actually doing these calls live, like you're watching me live. She was actually doing these calls live, allegedly, and that violated YouTube's policies in terms of service and conditions and all that. So they had terminated her actual page because of that, allegedly. She had another page. I'm forgetting the name of it, but she also had another page that a lot of people brought up. I'll have to find that page because it's a lot of information. Give me 1 second, I'm reading. They said a lot of women just wanted to socialize or make money on the side. It started off fun, and then it kind of went dark. It kind of went like, okay, all this doxing, alleged doxing and things like that, intimidation. They were scared to speak up. Give me a second. I might have to make another video talking about this because it is a lot. But people have said she been doing this. She been doing this. So I don't know if her criteria is new with these type of classes. Because I know she have, since people had released the video of her old classes, I believe she had made, changed something about the classes. I think she either increased the price because she had alleged that people were joining her classes just to get that Jennifer and Kenneth Petty story that she is claiming is hers. So she's claiming that's hers. So she said that All About the Tea, this came from her mouth. She said that All About the Tea had sent people over to join her classes, and so that they could get more information about that story. That's what she had said on multiple platforms. I don't know. Her classes are out, so I think it's somebody who had to be maybe from the classes, because who else will have those videos? Yeah, so it's some crazy stuff going on. It's some crazy stuff going on. People who made mistakes, it was just like cutthroat. It was like, well, you should have known better. It was some people who accidentally sent money, to the wrong Cash App, or they did something that the non-disclosure, said don't do or something. And I mean, she would just go off on them. She'll twist off on them. And a lot of them left because of that. A lot of them left because they didn't have confidence. Give me a second. Yeah, after she kicks them out, she talks shit, allegedly, or docks them. But some women, they didn't get doxxed. Some of them didn't get doxxed. I don't know if it was any men. I really don't. I don't think it was. I think it was all women. So some of them got doxxed allegedly, some didn't. Yeah. And a lot of these payment methods were suspect as well. A lot of them got shut down as well. because I don't know, I guess so many transactions or something. I'm just assuming that. I'm not sure. But a lot of these methods were reported as scam, reported as, people money would just come up missing allegedly. And they're like, okay, I sent you the money, through PayPal, sent you the money through Cash App. I sent you this money, and you're saying you didn't get it. You're saying I didn't pay for it. And so it was a lot of disputes like that. Where did the money go? Type of stuff, allegedly. And it was a lot of people who left because of that. And then they would be scared that, again, they'll be scared. It always come back to that for what a lot of these people are saying. They'll be scared to speak up about it, because they fear getting doxxed. It was a lot of women who went to the classes, so she did make a lot of money in the beginning, it seems like. But over time, a lot of people fell off pretty much. Give me a second. I'm reading this. So she did fall out with, I think she fell out with that Christian Karizma lady, the pink pill. She fell out with other Black YouTubers in that sector, because remember, she was in a different genre. And so then she pretty much switched over to this sector, the entertainment sector, and was recruiting, according to a lot of people, was recruiting that way. Okay. Shout out to everybody in my chat on Twitch. Yep. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. So I'm just going to keep it that general, but I want to go over pretty much some of the rules, because like I said, the rules have changed over time. So I'm just going to read the current rules, because I believe there's a new class, if I'm not mistaken. Do your research, be careful. I can't tell you what to do. This is just what I'm getting from people who have sent me their stories. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just pretty much telling their stories. So if you want to join, if that's what you do, that's up to you. That's not what I'm here to argue, or I'm not here to persuade you at all. But she did get more strict, I'll just say that, with the rules. I think she changed some things in the non-disclosure agreement as well. They have to pay like right off the bat. And again, it was a lot of people, really a lot of rules pertaining to, if it's not for you, we get it, bye, don't say nothing, just leave. You don't have to, voice your opinion. We don't want to hear you. Just go if it's not for you, pretty much. That was the kind of attitude. Just go if it ain't for you. It ain't for everybody. Okay, you read the rules. That's your fault. That's your problem. Nobody made you pay, that type of thing. So I'll just say that. Okay, so all this is alleged as well. I'm just going to keep it right there. I don't want to say too much. I'm just going to keep that right there. But I may have to do another video about some other things that came up. But I won't get into any more details here, because again, I don't want anyone pinpointed. So that's why I'm being very general here. And so if you are pretty much an alleged victim of an internet crime, be sure to report that to this website below. It's very important. Even if you don't have all of the person's information who's committed the crime, just make sure you get this documented. Make sure you get this on paper in case something comes up later. You can go back and update your report. You could definitely file a police report if you got evidence, if you have receipts of, if you feel like you were scammed, there's different resources for that as well. So make sure you really do your research. I believe this website have more information as well about that. So make sure y'all check that out. And I believe this website also have, identity theft. So if, you know, make sure you check your credit, make sure you check your credit report and all that. Change your number, whatever you got to do to stay private. You know what I mean? To stay private. So